Welcome to the Designated Drinkers Podcast. Sit back and enjoy the ride.
As long as you have a beer in your hand, we're alive.
I'm gonna give you my laptop, but you're gonna give me some of that chocho.
Hey guys, welcome to the Designated Drinkers Podcast. This is Karlo.
I'm Nick.
This is Joe.
Angelo.
So we were actually recording, and I'm a fucking asshole, and I spilled beer all over my laptop, and I'm pretty sure I fried the motherboard. But either way, we're gonna try to truck through it, and I'm hoping my laptop comes back to life tomorrow. I swear if it doesn't, I'm gonna be really mad at it. It's gonna be my bitch, and I'm gonna throw it away and bash it, and I'll record it. So laptop, come back to life. Either way, so our topics for today are gonna be bullshit, the Mayweather fight, which we, by the way, have not seen. I know this is gonna come out 3 weeks in a row, and Angela might say something about, this is this week. Either way,
I'm not gonna do it again.
yeah, so yeah, it happened. But either way, so we are going to talk about bullshit, the Mayweather fight, and the Browns controversy, and we'll be talking all about that soon. But either way, bullshit. What's going on with you guys? Anything fun? I got a new job. I'm an IT person now.
We were talking about Mexican food.
So, yeah. So, speaking of Mexican food, and the fact that I do not like Mexican food, the more authentic Mexican it is, the less that I like it. If it is very low-grade Mexican, i.e. Taco Bell, I fucking love it. But
Taco Bell, man, I don't know what the fuck it is.
yeah, no. It's all like synthetic.
It's not good for you.
Yeah, it's like synthetic. You are going to piss out of your asshole tomorrow, but it tastes so good today.
I think it's because they mix crystal meth in with the beef.
Yeah, it's good.
It makes you really, really like it.
I had Taco Bell last night, and I literally pissed from my ass this morning, and I didn't mind it. It doesn't hurt as much as like full-on turds.
You know what would be so hilarious to like go through the drive-thru and like have a complete cholo like accent with them, like, "Hey, vato, give me that chalupa, bitch! I want the chole, come on!"
So we started talking about Mexican food. That immediately brought me to Mexicans, which immediately brought me to the most iconic Mexican movie ever, which is Blood In, Blood Out. So I had to show Joe the scene where the white guy was getting almost raped by the Mexican dude. And he said the most funny line in the history of funny lines that has ever been in a Mexican film. But the whole time that we were doing that, Karlo was trying to fix his laptop, so he didn't get in on the chonchon. So, that's how it all went. And that's how we got on this diatribe of Mexicanism.
What are the Vatos Locos, way?
Yeah.
I did see a clip of it before we even started talking about it. There's the moment where the two guys are fighting, and then the guy brands him.
Yeah, with the Vatos Locos.
Yeah, and then he's about to shoot him, and his friend's like, "No, wait, don't do that." Yeah, I
Don't
remember.
think about it, Holmes.
Yeah, that's right.
It is like the most prototypical 1984 Mexican gang movie. And if you haven't watched it, it's called Blood In, Blood Out. And it is by far one of the most fucking hilarious movies
so
you have
funny.
ever seen. It has everything from like Hispanic to white to black comedy. And then you put all of that together, throw in a little prison humor, and everything is just fucking kosher to bring the Jews in.
I literally think that before they started every shoot, the director was like, "Okay, only one note. Act as stereotypical as you can."
Yeah. It's like, bro, listen, You're acting like Mexican-ish. Like, I need you to go full-on fucking Mexican
We need to
right
go
now.
full frijoles, my friend.
Yeah.
Frijoles.
Yeah.
And what about, hey, if you're not saying white, you're not being white.
You need to get that fucking elote with the fucking the corn and the fucking like what mashed potatoes. I don't know what the fuck they put on that, but it's delicious. Salsa and shit, but you need to go full fucking Mexican.
That's right. Please do go full fucking Mexican,
If you
and
go-
also
No.
support your Mexican restaurants.
Yeah.
So no, honestly, like when I watch that movie, I picture little Karlo back in Peru going, "Orale!" Is that like when your dad was like riding you down the hill in the broken car?
Riding me?
In the broken car, what? Like you had to put the fucking.
Oh, yeah.
You had to jump start the car halfway down the fucking hill.
Right.
You're like, "Oh, jump start it, wait!" Like,
It's really.
how did that go? Like, tell me Peruvian style.
It's really funny that you say that, but there's been a couple of things. First, I don't know if I've said this already on the podcast, but I don't ride bikes. That is because I had a traumatizing experience as a child with a bicycle. I fell on my face and I hurt myself badly, but I do still remember fondly.
You know what's funny about that? I recently was talking to my mom, and she literally just like said to me, so I didn't know this shit, but apparently she does not like bikes to the point where she's the reason I can't ride a bike. She's like, oh, I didn't want you or your brother to ride bikes because I thought they were like not safe.
No,
So
see, no,
I never bought you a bike. For
I
that reason."
legitimately
I was like,
broke.
what the fuck?
I wrecked my teeth because of it.
Oh.
Yeah, so I fell on my face and I destroyed this. So I think I've said this in the podcast, and I'm sorry, guys, if I have. But what happened is I was in the middle. I was with my friend, and I got on his bike.
You did not have. You've never.
I
said
think
No,
I've
yes,
said the
yeah,
story.
I've
Yeah, I
been-
think
yeah,
I've said
yeah, I
the
was
story
there
on the
for that.
podcast. Yeah. So what happened is I got on the handlebars, and we were riding down to watch a soccer game, and I put my foot on the wheel, and we went flying. The thing about Peruvian roads is the fact that it's tar. They don't mold it so it's flat. What they do is you just put it down and it's spiky. So I scraped the fuck out of my arm and my face, to the point where like I wrecked my teeth, and I had to have dental surgery as a 6-7-year-old, which is fucking traumatizing, and I hate the dentist because of it. But that happened. I don't ride bikes. My dad's been trying my dad tried for a very long time, and I think I could ride a bike. I have memories of riding a bike because he was forcing me to, but I still refuse to.
So
I still remember when I was a kid,
Dude, I can imagine though.
my dad's old house or apartment, I should say, was essentially like it's a road that leads up a hill. And I remember a couple of times I had a blast. We would get on the bike, and we would ride all the way down the hill as fast as he could fucking go. I think he was just trying to break me from my fear, but it didn't happen.
So basically, what you're saying is the bike took some of that fucking chon chon.
God damn it.
That's right. Yes, it did take some of that chon chon.
Hey, listen, at least you had an accident. Literally, someone tried to show me how to ride a bike, and I was like, I'm not having none of this bullshit. I'm not fucking dying. Like, I could literally remember people trying to show me how to ride a bike. They'd be like, just get on. And I'd get on, and I'd be like, this thing is going to fucking fall, and I do not want to be there when it does. I was like, fuck this, I'm getting off. Literally to the point where my aunt from my dad's side, which I've never met, I've only met her like a couple times, she bought me a bike, and I was like, I'm not going to ride this bullshit. So my brother took it apart. Instead of being, I would assume a better brother, and showing me how to ride a bike, he's like, I'm just going to take the bike then, because he doesn't want it. Fuck it. I never rode how to bike. No. And I don't want to know. I just, at this point, I don't think I would ever want to learn how to ride a bike.
Actually, I read that, scientists can't figure out how bikes stay up.
I couldn't.
Like,
I was like, how the fuck do I keep
false.
this thing stable?
No, I just read an article the other day that it's one of the unexplained things by science, that physically it is not possible for a bike to stay balanced on the two wheels.
We are
But it
going
still
to
does.
have to explore that another time because I think that is false because I can't think of the term right now in physics, but there is a physics term for why bikes stay up. And it's not, I want to say it's like perpetual motion, but it's something about the act of going forward at a rate that leads you to balance versus the slower that you go on a bike, the more unbalanced you
It's
go.
the speed, yeah.
And
I
I
don't
can't
remember
think of it right now, but I'll have to
I'm too
have to
tipsy.
go and and you might be right. Like they can't explain the exact mechanism behind it, but I know that there is something that is why when you're going faster, the less balance that you need.
It's not
And
inertia. It's not
when-
inertia.
It's
when
gotta
I
be inertia.
my
I'm-
inertia
remember.
makes sense in a way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because one direction, but that direction is
Gay.
forward and backward. It doesn't account for
Hey,
left and right. But
hey, don't call any of this shit gay, because this is how I'm gonna make my fucking money, okay?
No, he said One Direction.
Oh, okay, yeah, that is gay.
And I
But
said gay.
for the listeners out there,
says the fucking Taylor Swift fan.
physics is not gay. Physics is great.
So like me being a bad father that I am, like no, listen. My daughter is 9,
Okay.
right?
Uh-huh.
And I finally got fed up with it, and I took her training wheels off her bike. I was like, "You're either going to learn, or you're gonna be Karlo.
Sink or swim.
Like you're never gonna ride a bike, or
Fight or
you are."
flight.
Exactly. So I took her in the grass.
You.
I
by
took
the
her in the
way.
grass, and I basically just, if she was to pedal by herself, she's never gonna make it, right? She just doesn't have strong legs yet. So I would thrust her forward, just jettison her as fast as I can, and she would get going. She'd be able to turn, and then she couldn't navigate the turns. But the speed allowed her to stay balanced and give her some, I want to say,
Equilibrium?
yes, but like
What's up?
there was the difference between the speed and the not having balance that molded
It just-
together.
Yeah.
That let her
worked out.
stay upward. So like I said, I think at 9 years old, I think I was riding a bike at like 5 or 6. I think that's kind of average age, maybe 6 or 7. But you're 9, like you need no more training wheels. I just couldn't have. It was a crutch. So I was like,
that would
they're
not-
off. I threw them away, and I was like, you're either gonna ride this bike this way, or you ain't gonna ride the bike. Maybe I'm a bad parent. I don't
No,
know.
you're not a bad
I
parent.
do want to say one thing quick, guys. I have a dehumidifier running right now, and my laptop is underneath it. So, on top of it. So I'm sorry if you hear the noise of it.
You know what? Look, I want to put a point there, though. The last podcast that we had that you posted,
Was bomb.
you were like, "Oh, sorry about my dryer." Blah 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 blah. I don't think we hear most of the stuff that you think that we hear.
No, the thing about this is the fact that we're recording on the phone now, so the phone will pick up everything.
But
That
it's
mic,
a constant.
Right.
I don't know. It's like if you would have never mentioned it, I don't think anybody would have known the difference.
I will say something else.
You just shouted yourself out.
I will say something else. Carlo, you don't have to say sorry, because remember, if you're listening to this, our name is Designated Drinkers. So we kind of tipsy or fucked up by the time we start this thing.
yeah. This is not designated. We fucking
Academics.
We pride ourselves on phenomenal fucking production quality.
Yeah.
This is we're getting hammered. Like it or don't, listen up, son.
right. No, yeah, you're right.
So besides ruining your laptop, what have you been up to?
I have been crying myself to sleep every night about the fact that I ruined my laptop, and I'm upset about it.
Every night.
Every night. Most of the nights.
Well played,
And,
Nick.
well, I'm not using my phone right now because Carlo's using it to look for new laptops.
Yes, that's right.
I'm
legit-
surprised he asked you and not me. That's very. Oh, you know why? Because I have my phone always on
Dude,
low.
okay, so let's talk about this real quick. Joe,
Yeah.
you do this thing where you put your phone at
Yeah.
the lowest brightness.
Yeah.
And it bugs the fuck out of me. Like, you hand me your phone, you're like, here you go, look at this.
And then
I'm
I
like,
switch it, yeah.
and I'm like, what the fuck are you looking at? And you're like, oh, this thing. Oh, wait, sorry, I have to turn up the brightness because I've accustomed my eyes at looking at this really,
Fuck yeah,
really
man.
badly brightened thing. That's probably why your glasses are really, like, crazy.
Yeah.
No, you know what? I do.
My
the same
eyes are
thing.
sensitive, but I strain the shit out of them
I
to
do
look at my
it.
phone.
I do it for a number of reasons. I think it's better for my eyes. To
It's-
No,
battery
it's
life.
not. No, it's
Probably
not better
not
for your
I get
eyes.
you.
You're saving battery, but it's not better for your eyes.
That's the other thing. I'm saving battery.
That is the only thing.
However, I will say this: it is better if I was in complete, like if I was in the dark, that I don't have that on because like all that like what is it called, screen light or whatever the fuck it's called? It's a technical term. I'm a little tipsy.
Blue light?
Blue light.
Do you have
no,
a-
blue light is what you turn it into if you don't want that.
I thought blue light
Yeah.
was those specials
No.
that came
Do
with
you
it.
have a?
No, trust
do you
me.
have a Samsung or iPhone?
Samsung. I have a Samsung.
Okay, so I have that same thing where you can turn on the blue light so it doesn't affect you as much. I don't know if it works.
No, it's turn off the blue light because blue light actually messes with your sleep patterns.
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't know if it's legit or not, but I know
I use
when
it. I use it after. You know why I know the term blue light? I'm not gonna say.
Go ahead, say it.
It's dirty. That's why.
He was watching
Oh.
porn.
Yeah, and this is a.
That's red light.
So you can
I'm gonna-
find, so you
I'm
can
gonna
find
tell
your semen
that
all
is,
over your
I
sheets.
do the red light and then I get rid of the blue light.
See, speaking
Yeah,
of
this
90s
is-
stuff,
I gotta say, I gotta tell. I'm sorry, podcast. Too much information. For me to go to sleep, I'm an insomniac, so you know what?
He jacks off every night.
Yeah.
Is what he's trying to say.
You know what's the good thing though is it's scientifically proven that it tires you out. So it works for me all the time.
no, listen, honestly,
Like clockwork.
you
Does
can't.
it?
Cockwork.
Does it? Are you beat off by the time? Are you beat by the time you're done?
Yeah, oh dude.
Beat by the time you get
I'm
off.
so beat.
Like I said, works like cockwork.
Yeah.
Right, I'll do the same thing. Like, I'm like, all right, you know, the wife and I'm like, hey, what's up? Yeah, good. She's like, yeah, good. And I'm like, oh fuck yeah, it's about to go down, son. And we get into bed, and I'm like, yeah, whoa, squeeze a titty or two. She's like, no. And then I'm like, can we? And she just falls asleep. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what is this? So now I gotta wait for you to fall into a deep sleep. Gotta go out on the couch. Gotta fucking rub one out real quick. Then go back to bed
It's
so
the
I
best
can
way
sleep.
to go to sleep.
This
Best
is
way.
bullshit. This is bullshit.
You know what's funny that you say that? I forgot what the fuck is the name of the show. But there's this show where it's like they're it's two sisters and they both marry like two completely different guys. But so
Well,
like
I hope they didn't marry the same guy.
no. That would hey, that's a porno actually. But like they marry two different guys. Like one of them is successful, the other one's just kind of like a frat guy. And then so like a frat guy and his wife live in the like pool house, and the rich guy lives in his like the real house. But like they always have this running joke where
Done.
they have this
It's
running
not- I
joke
don't know
where
Don't worry about
like I guess like one of them like their wife falls asleep, so they just have sex with them while they're sleeping. Like, is that a thing? Like you guys all have significant others. Have you ever done something that weird?
Wait,
Like they fall asleep and
No.
you're like, I guess if I'm gonna
no,
get
it
off.
doesn't. It doesn't work that way.
It doesn't
No.
work that way.
So
It's not open for business.
I have
That's-
never actually banged my wife while she's sleeping,
Uh-huh.
but almost on a weekly basis, I will tell her to just fall asleep with her mouth open so that I can get the job done. Like, you don't have to be awake for me to enjoy this. Like, we're good.
No, I wake her
Like-
up. I'm like, hey, it's time.
That shit's all gonna end when you get that ring on you.
I'm like, I slap things. I'm like, wake up.
You slap things.
And then she wakes up, and then sometimes we get the deed done. I mean, I get the deed done all the time, but
That's the thing about men. We just we need it to
yes,
function, so we
It's
do it
biological.
every day. Yeah.
And it produces healthy sperm. So this is for everyone who's listening. If you're a female, you should be having regular sex with your boyfriend, so you know that you have the best baby ever.
All women that are listening, if you're not doing it with your man, he's doing it with his hand. That's
Yeah.
the way it goes.
That's the best.
if you're not doing it with your man, he's doing it with his hand.
Oh my god, if we get famous enough, we're
Bro.
trademarking this online. That's one of our shirts.
I'm not gonna lie. Do it with your man, or there's some fucking skeezy hoe that will. Hashtag that.
And also, I kind of want to bring up a debate. To me, I've never done it. I never will. But when it comes to cheating,
Yeah.
I think it's so much worse for a woman to cheat than it is for a man to cheat.
That's called the
Disagree.
double standard.
I don't think
Disagree.
so, because for a woman to cheat, not only does she have to, obviously, like, get the man to, or go home with the man, or have the man come home with her, but a woman has to lie down and accept. A woman has to she has to turn herself into the mood to open that thing up, because if a woman doesn't want it, it's closed. Yeah. You can't get in there. And it's dry, it's everything. A woman has to, like, prepare herself and say, yes, I want to do this. And I will do it, and here it is. It's open. She accepts it, she embraces it, and she allows the man to do his business. A man can fuck a sandwich. We don't care.
I've seen porn where there's a guy who fucks a burger.
All we have to do is go...
I'll tell you about it.
And we're like, ugh.
Yeah.
We don't care. We don't
hold
have to think
up,
about
before
it.
you keep going.
Okay, so this is great.
Joe literally just said he has watched porn where a dude.
Yes. So
no
this is
chick,
the premise.
No, hold up.
Yeah,
Don't cut me off, bitch.
No, go ahead. No, go
Or a dude fucks a burger.
Okay.
Hold up. He just said fucked a burger. So
Yes.
that means Joe is specifically going
Food
dude porn.
Dude, I love burgers.
Burger
But
porn.
here's the thing, like, this is a funny premise. So, like, the way it worked is, like, it was, like, waitresses, like, so the way the porns would work is, like, the waitress would be interviewed, like, oh, you know, I'm just a waitress, and I get tips, and it's not fun, and blah, blah, blah. And so this particular one, there was this guy who was getting a burger, and the way it works is, like, they would interview that waitress, and they would always fuck the cook. So she'd be like, for this particular one, it was, if you guys ever seen Jada Fire?
No.
No? Okay, you guys don't watch enough porn.
I just don't know their names.
Okay, she's black. So he's like this like
Oh, they
dorky
said
guy.
Jade of Fire. I didn't know.
Just Jada.
Jada
Fire. If you spank bank, Jada Fire. Anyways, like she's like she wants to fuck the cook, and she's like, come on, burger guy, and she calls him burger guy. Eat the fucking burger. And he's like, I'm trying to fucking eat. It's a good fucking burger. And she finally goes like, I want to fuck. So she packs up his burgers, like, get the fuck out of here. And, like, before the porn starts, it's like this comedy scene, because I guess porn sometimes think, hey, isn't it funny if, like, while you're jacking off, you get to also laugh? Which I don't understand. And so what happens is, he's so in love with this burger where he goes to the bathroom into a stall, and he's like, he's the only one in the restaurant. He's like, oh my god, he eats like a bite. He's like, this burger's so good. And then, like, he puts it to his dick and he starts fucking it, and I'm like, this is weird. This is not funny. And then it cuts to them having sex. It's like, let's get it on.
But you didn't stop watching it once at the weird. Like, this is weird and not funny.
I was already pretty hard, so I was like, I'm gonna fuck what this guy's doing. Hopefully there's some titties coming out.
So you walked off to a guy watching...
Yes.
To a guy fucking a burger.
Yes.
Yeah, basically he jerked off to burger
I didn't
porn.
know... Do you guys not do that? I stopped when
No,
there's
I
no
don't
good
do that.
stuff.
I don't do
To a
that.
guy... Hold up. To a guy fucking...
Yes.
There was no chick.
I did not
There
touch
was no
my
chick.
penis. I just watched.
I don't know. Either way,
But I wanted to fuck that burger.
Anyway.
That burger had some good pussy lips.
With that...
Come on.
Roast beef. It was roast
Yes.
beef.
Those were buns. Those were buns.
Those buns were delicious.
With
good
that,
bun.
I
I'd eat the shit out of that.
do want to start. I do want to start talking about the fight, which we don't know yet. We don't know who's won yet.
Have they started?
Maybe they have. You
No,
guys
I
should
just
check.
checked.
Yeah, please keep an eye on that.
Still fighting?
McGregor and Mayweather. Who wants to go first?
Nick.
Yeah. I think that... I think, continue? Yeah, I guess.
What happened?
It said low power.
Oh yeah.
I just
I'll
plugged the
fix
phone.
that right now. Go ahead.
Anyway, yeah, I think that Mayweather's probably going to win because I just look at it as like the classic Rocky versus like
Except he's
Mr.
not
T.
Rocky.
I know, but it's like Rocky versus Mr. T. Mr. T thought he was the greatest thing ever, and McGregor or Rocky thought he just gonna do his thing, and that's the way Mayweather was acting when McGregor called him out, because McGregor always says how he's the greatest thing ever and how
sliced bread.
Yes, and sliced bread. He can fight anybody he wants and win. And that's fine and good in the cage, but when you're in the ring, it's totally different type of fighting. So everything that McGregor knows how to do to win a fight, he can't do anymore.
Boxing's rigged. Just saying, bitches.
Boxing was rigged during the Great Depression, maybe. But in regular boxing, like you train, there's certain techniques that you just know how to do. And not to mention the fact that McGregor, when he did box, if he boxes in the cage, he's just got tape on his hands. Now he's got to put 8-ounce gloves on, and try to do the same thing that he was doing before, and he's not going to be able to do it. It's going to be completely different for him. He's in a completely different environment, and it's a completely different fighting style, and he's going to be completely restricted to the rules of boxing. And Mayweather, that's all he knows how to do. So that's all he's ever done. So going up against somebody who only knows how to box versus somebody who's just learning how to box, it's to me, it's just not even going to be a real fight.
All right, so we're talking about how we feel about this fight. So, first off, if you are in any way excited, if you were any way excited about this fight, I apologize for you because you fell in the same hype that happens with every Mayweather fight, which I don't know if you guys have ever noticed this, is you want Mayweather to get knocked out.
Yep.
He's listen, you can say whatever you want about Mayweather, but he is the best at what he does, which is getting people to buy his fights. Like, I know enough about boxing where I understand how a boxer is like doing the right things. One of those things is being able to, if you're not hated, being able to get people to like watch your fights to see if you get knocked out. And a good example of that is like Muhammad Ali. Like if you guys know enough about Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
Like a good thing about Muhammad Ali, the reason why his fights sold that well is because he was really cocky before the fights. Like leading up to the fights, he'd always be like, "I'm gonna knock him out." Like he would do his little rhymes, like "I'll knock him out in 10, or else I'm going to bed again." You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So you'd be like, oh, "He's kind of cocky. I want to see if he gets knocked out." And Mayweather is in the same way as Muhammad Ali, but Mayweather is that same thing where you want to see this guy in a fight, not because you like him, not because you want to see him win. It's because you want to see him lose. But that is the gimmick, is I want to see you lose, so I'm going to pay this money in mind thinking that you're going to lose, but you're not going to lose. And I know this because I have literally seen enough fights of Mayweather when he came back out of retirement to go, this is all just a scam. Not so much the sense of boxing. You can have whatever opinion you want, but his fights are a scam. They're all set up to make you want to see him fight. He knows he's going to win because the other boxer is just not in the same style as him because he's a defensive boxer. The other guy's never a defensive boxer. It's a guy who fights straight up just brawl. Like Miguel Cotto, Manny Pacquiao. Those guys are not, those aren't like, oh, I'm going to try to defensive box. Those are, I'm going to knock you out. Miguel Cotto was like a hard hitter, and Manny Pacquiao was just like, put me in a ring, I'll fight anybody. I'll fight your mom. I'll punch, you know what I mean? Like, that's who Miguel Cotto, that's who Manny Pacquiao is. So those guys were not going to beat him regardless. And they always are in Las Vegas, which is where he's from. He always knows everybody there. So no matter what it is, even if the fight was good, they're not going to win in a decision. He is. So including this, I mean, this is just a ridiculous fight. I don't understand why ESPN try to cover it and be like, this is going to be a pretty good fight. I don't understand why anybody would think this is a good fight. This is just a ridiculous, laughable fight. They're not the same division. Like, they're not the same type of fighting style. McGregor isn't a boxer. I don't care if he's boxed before. Mayweather's done it his whole life. And he does it in a way that makes him win. So it's ridiculous. What's going to happen is what I predict, which is he's like, you're going to think you want McGregor to knock him out. Mayweather's going to move around. He's going to win the fight. You're going to be upset that you wasted whatever amount of money.
$90.
$100.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fucking money.
Dude, that's what they're charging at bars to get in and watch this fight. It's like $100.
What the?
Dude,
And people are actually paying.
That's dumb.
All right.
You know what's funny though that you say that?
$100.
So do you wanna go first?
There you go.
Okay. So I was sitting at the barber shop today. I was by the way,
Too much.
I showed up at the barber shop. My barber shop is really popular. I showed up at 9:30 today because I wanted to get a haircut and then go train jiu-jitsu. I sat there for an hour and a half, Angelo.
Yep.
I sat there for a motherfucking hour and a half. Some guy cut me. I'm not even going to talk about that.
No, you
I
have
am
to.
going to talk about that.
You have to.
My number gets called, and I wait for this lady, Esther, because she cuts my hair real good. So she goes up. She's like 95, and this guy gets up. And I'm like, the fuck? I'm like, hey, I was waiting for you because my number already got called. She's like, oh, well, he was here earlier, I think. And she's like, wait, what's your number? I'm like, 95. And she looks at him. She's like, what's your number? He's like, 92. And I look at this motherfucker and I'm like, bro, that was not your fucking number. But I didn't want to make I didn't want to make myself any problems. I like going to that place. Either way, so he cuts me in fucking line, dude, and pissed me off. But either way, so I'm sitting there, just reading through Facebook, bullshitting, and then I see this. I'm listening to this guy talk because they're all talking about the fight, and this dude's talking about how grappling, which he called wrestling, was bullshit.
Good.
How he keeps his distance.
Good.
And he doesn't let any wrestlers get close to him, and how it's a pussy move, is I quote, is a pussy move to try, because he's like, when they don't know how to fight, they'll go to try to get you to the ground. And I'm sitting there and I'm smiling about it, and like the guy Ken is looking at me, and I'm like, this fucking guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
He didn't even know how to say jujitsu, right? Because he started talking about jujitsu.
Yeah, he does say, he's like the UFC, he's like, I don't have any respect for the UFC fighters, and they all do the jujitsu, and it doesn't work. And he's like, boxing, you know, he's like, I don't have respect for McGregor because, you know, he's in the UFC. And I'm in my mind, I'm like, bro, he could fucking kill you. I could fucking kill you. Like, you look like a bitch. But either way, I digress. That was just my day. But, I don't know, man. I don't know who's going to win. I hope it's McGregor because I really hate Mayweather.
You know what I'll say about this thing? I'm glad that we all agree that it's probably going to be by decision. Because it doesn't matter if Mayweather wins. If it's by decision, he's going to still look like a bitch. Because he couldn't knock out.
If it's by decision, Conor McGregor won.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is. Conor McGregor won.
My thing is with this, right? Like, I think, like, Dana White, go fuck yourself. Like,
yes.
Fuck that guy.
You
I don't like
fucked
that guy.
yourself out of a fucking media frenzy that is beyond what has already been created, right? Because it is already a media frenzy. Like, it's nothing but a dog and pony show. Mm-hmm. This is nothing but fucking, you know, goddamn, the circus. You know what I mean? Like, that's all you have created is a goddamn circus of what should actually be some legit fucking fighting skills, right? So, go fuck yourself on that. But, you take a fucking boxer that has done nothing but box his whole life. You take him against an MMA fighter. You make the MMA fighter and the boxer cut weight, all that shit, right? And then you go, oh, alright, I'm gonna pay you both fucking, you know, whatever, 65 fucking million, or even if it's $1 million, I don't know. But no matter who wins or loses, you're both getting $1 million. So, neither one of them are getting a bad payday.
I think it's $180 million.
So McGregor's not even getting paid more money for like fighting in a sport that he's not professional in?
No matter who wins, they are both getting one of the best paydays that they have ever gotten.
Yeah.
It doesn't, like, I think Conor and Floyd are getting better paydays out of this fight than they would have gotten from any of their fights in their arenas.
But that's probably why they agreed to do it in the first place.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Because they both know that fighting each other would make
time,
them rich.
It's, I mean, yeah, Conor's in it for the fucking money.
Yeah.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Conor is in it for the fucking money.
The funny thing is, you say that is he's brought it up. He said, I wouldn't pass up 180 millions if it was to hit me in the face. He said it.
At least he's honest about it. He's not like fucking like Floyd Mayweather going like, oh, I can beat anybody, so I'm gonna fight this MMA fighter, and I'm not gonna fight him in his home turf.
But the other thing is, like, here's what I think should have happened.
Yeah.
Right? They should have had a best of 3. Right?
Yes.
So, boxing, MMA, and they should have met in the middle with a kickboxing match. To where it's all stand up, there's no ground, because in all honesty, like, Mayweather, I don't care what the fuck he does. Even if Conor McGregor has some rudimentary fucking level of ground fighting, you're getting whooped 9 times out of 10, right? So it's not fair. So You take it from a boxing, from a MMA, and then you put it into fucking kickboxing.
Yeah.
To where I can use my feet, I can change the range at which I hit you, I can change the range at which you need to defend because, right, it's all upper body right now. There's no fucking boxer kicking this motherfucker or punching this bitch to the legs. No. But you get a good tie kick to the fucking knee, and guess what? You're changing your fucking strategy real quick.
Real quickly.
You know what I mean? 5 or 6 tie kicks to the knee, you're changing your boxing stance. And now, the thing that you've been doing for the last 20 years is no longer good. You better hope you fucking train southpaw because, bitch, you gotta fight it now. Like, that's it. You know what I mean? Like, it changes the game 100%. So, what you're gonna see tonight, in my opinion, is Conor McGregor is probably A, gonna lose by decision, or B, gonna get knocked out.
I don't think he's gonna get knocked out.
Here's why. Because in order to make it a exciting fight, he has to open up.
Yeah.
Because if they both sit there and go defensive,
It's gonna be
boring
as
as
shit.
fuck.
but at the same time they're both getting paid each promotion,
180 million.
UFC and boxing, they're both getting paid. I mean, fucking a metric fuck ton of money for this. Even if nobody likes it, it'll never happen again. But they're all getting paid for it, and they're gonna make more money than they could have ever fucking imagined by a boxing or MMA match.
Think about it. The people that are putting this on are still getting a cut even from the pay-per-view
Oh,
costs.
phenomenal!
I will
Yeah.
say this because I've like, as much as I didn't want to, I have like seen videos. I think the person who has to really go on attack because they have the most to lose is Mayweather. I know he doesn't do that, but if you think about it, Conor McGregor has nothing to lose. He's
Nope.
gonna get paid. All he has to do is go, I'm gonna be in this corner. If you wanna come fight me, then come fight me. If you don't, I still win because you couldn't knock me out.
Well, and that's where I think the
Yeah.
thing is going to come in, where he's going to open up, because Conor McGregor, being Conor McGregor, is going to want to go out and knock this motherfucker out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean 100%. I hope he does. I don't think it's going to happen,
No.
because you have probably the most
Defensive.
prolific fucking defensive boxer in the history of boxing fighting you, right? You're not a trained boxer. You're an MMA fighter. Even though your boxing skills are good for MMA, they are fucking absolute trash when it comes to actual boxing. So, now, Conor might land a lucky shot and knock this motherfucker out. But I don't see it happening. So,
I think the
my
smartest thing.
prediction is Mayweather, Mayweather in decision.
Yeah, decision.
You know, and it's going to be one of those things that you're like, there's people that are paying for this right now that are so hyped up that are literally going to go, wow, that was literally like 24 hours of my paycheck that I just lost to this fucking turd
But
of
you
a
shouldn't-
fight.
The thing is, like, you gotta be smart. You shouldn't pay for it anyways.
No.
If I came up to any of you and went, hey, do you want to see this one boxer who this is all he's done in his life fight this guy who he's fought a different style of fighting, gonna fight him in the same fight that he's done for a good amount of his life?
You just described the movie.
Exactly. Like, you're not the movie.
A movie. A movie.
Oh, a movie. Like, you're
Yeah.
not gonna do that. Like, it makes no sense.
You know what? If we don't pay for the Super Bowl, why are we paying for this?
I
Well,
think.
So for me, at least, like, being in my circle of people, right? I've had 3 different people that are like, hey, come over to the house. I'm getting the fight. You don't have to pay anything. Just come over and watch. And I'm like, you know what?
Waste of time.
Bro, I don't want to.
Waste
Because
of time.
I don't think that it's going to be entertaining.
Nah.
Like, yeah, everything up until the fight will probably be entertaining, right? Floyd's going to come out with a bunch of fucking bitches, and fucking, Conor's going to come out with Dana White and a bunch of bitches. Like, it's gonna be fucking, yeah, because Dana's not gonna sit in the background for this. No, he's gonna get that fucking just crusty old fucking ball head right up in there. Like, look, I was the
comes
dude
in with
that
a gold
fucked that,
chain like Flavor Flav.
I fucked that broad in the puss on that guy with my bald head. Like, no. Maybe you guys have never seen the porno.
He has a
porno? No,
Yeah.
it's just like
No.
a clip.
But,
Some
yeah.
guy goes head first.
Yeah, into a veg. But anyway, it's fucking terrible. And this is going to be nothing but a mockery of both sports that are actually fucking
kinda what it
legit
is.
as fuck. Like,
This is a
dude.
joke.
It's going to be an exploitation of both.
And you know what? Honestly, this is nothing but Mayweather's going to make a shit ton of money. Conor McGregor's going to make a shit ton of money. Win, lose, or draw, either way. I don't care how it goes. They're both making a fuck ton of money. But you know what? Honestly, if you have the fight that I think it's going to be, you're going to have McGregor doesn't want to get knocked out, so he's not going to open up. You have Mayweather definitely not going to fucking open up because he's never done so in his life. He's never knocked anybody out, I don't think.
No, he's knocked a couple. But come on. Anyone can knock anybody out.
So
but he doesn't-
let's say out of
he's
let's
knocked
say
out, like,
out of
maybe two
100
people.
fights, he's probably knocked out what, 3?
2 people. Yeah, not a lot.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So you're gonna watch a boxing match, which is inherently boring. Boxing is boring,
Yeah.
right? I'm sorry.
Unless there's blood.
Back in the
No,
day,
dude, there is.
back in the day when motherfuckers were slinging and they were actually fighting, that was good.
The only time
There's
it's not
blood
boring.
all over the ring.
The only time
and
it's
they're-
not. Yeah, go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Rocky.
it's exciting when there's blood all over the ring
The
and
only-
they're
yeah.
barely up and they're like they gotta like cut the eyebrow to like get the swelling
Come in,
down.
Mick.
That's
Come in.
exactly.
Got me, Mac.
The only like modern version of that is if Juan Marquez, whatever the fuck his name is, fights Manny Pacquiao. Because those bitches go at it.
Yeah.
They're like cockfighters. They're
But
like,
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like you take somebody like Pacquiao and you put him against any fucking Mexican dude, Golden Glove champion. No, like dead serious.
No,
Like,
it's 'cause-
they are fucking going to kill each other.
Yeah.
And even like Pacquiao, I don't know if you know this, but Pacquiao is like, I have 2 shirts from Pacquiao. Right, my wife when she went to the Philippines, they actually drove by Pacquiao's house. It is a fucking complex.
Yeah.
He's a fucking governor in the Philippines. Yeah.
What?
Like
Yeah,
he's
he
not
is.
like
I
he's
know he has, like,
legit
his own movie.
government.
Yeah.
He is a government employee in the Philippines. Like
What the fuck?
no joke. Like he is the fucking patron saint of fucking everything in the Philippines.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So Pacquiao's a legit motherfucker, and yeah, he got his ass knocked the fuck out by that old dude. What was his name?
Juan Marquez?
Yeah,
Is that who you're talking
Marquez.
about? Because they had like 3 fights. I know what you're talking about, that last
Marquez
one.
hit him, and
Dude.
and where Pacquiao just went limp, I was like, oh shit! Fucking, oh, Chun, he's dead! Oh my god! Like, oh! He got
was a
knocked
good
the
knockout.
fuck out,
If you
bro.
guys haven't seen that shit, oh my
Yeah.
god.
Like, he went stiff as fuck. He was like in the ropes like this, like, YMC. It was fucking terrible. But, you know what? That happened because he wasn't just fucking covering up
No.
and not getting knocked out. He was trying to box. He was
They
trying to
go at
fucking
it.
fight this motherfucker. And Mayweather does not have that in him.
No, he doesn't.
Mayweather is there 100% to get paid and to not get damaged.
That's
and
what it-
you know what? Them motherfuckers already, like, honestly, bro, you can't fucking read. Go ahead and get your fucking head boxed in.
I don't understand
Like, you
that.
can't do any more damage.
You can't read.
What was the
Have you
reading
never
thing?
heard this?
No,
Oh,
I
yeah, I
didn't know
know.
that.
Bro,
I know this came out with the McGregor thing. What is it? Like with the reading
so,
thing?
no. This was like
Before?
2 years ago. He
No
tried to
fucking
do an
way.
ad
No.
for like a nutrition company or something like that, and they were like, "Hey, bro, all you gotta do is read this," and it was just reading a script, like, "Hey, you know, this is Floyd Mayweather for Nutrisystem. You take this fucking bullet, you throw it in your ass, good to go, good nutrition." No, you know, like that fucking simple. But he was like, "Ha, this be Floyd Mayweather, and what's his word? I'm to be for spokesman for the nitroglycerin Nutrisystem for the use.
Oh my god.
It was like, it was
What?
literally like the dude could not fucking read.
Probably the brain damage.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Because, honestly, there is an entire fucking grill dedicated to fucking George Foreman
That's true.
that got boxed the fuck out of
That's true. George
by
Foreman
Muhammad
took some
Ali.
hits.
And he had fucking, I don't know, what, 15, 20 years of boxing.
Yeah, and he seems fine.
Lennox Lewis, fucking Sugar Ray Robinson, all these motherfuckers. Like, now, I don't say that they're not fucked up in the head. They are.
Mike
Right?
Tyson.
No, none of them are reading as well as they did back in fucking 7th grade. This bitch was reading at a fucking 2nd grade level at fucking 38 years old.
You also gotta remember, he's not like a go at it boxer. He's a I'm gonna stay back.
So he probably never took that.
He's
many hits
he's a
anyway.
pretty boy. He
Yeah.
doesn't get knocked out. He doesn't take a lot of swelling.
Wait, Pretty Boy Floyd?
And it baffles me. It baffles me that, like, bro, you've made more money than my dumbass can even fucking count. Like, I don't know all the zeros that you have.
Neither
You
does he.
couldn't buy a Hooked on fucking Phonics book? Like, shit, like, honestly, bro, you can hire a Harvard fucking law professor, English professor. You can get anyone that you want to teach you fucking English and how to read. And you couldn't do that? Go fuck yourself. You're a useless fucking piece of shit. And Connor's no better, right? Like, I'm sure Connor actually knows how to read, but he still says fuck, like fuck. So, go
Fuck you,
like,
go learn how to read, man.
all of them. Oh, like go, this is the biggest travesty that has ever happened
Just
to
in
fucking
anything.
professional sports.
So what is everyone's final thoughts on Conor McGregor and Mayweather? Mayweather.
It's Mayweather.
Mayweather.
Like I said, my heart wants McGregor to win, so then that way I can see Mayweather cry.
You want me to say somebody else's name against Mayweather? You put Mike Tyson in the ring, like prime, like legit
It
young
wouldn't-
Mike Tyson.
wouldn't work.
No. Mike Tyson didn't give a fuck who you were. Mike Tyson would find you in that ring, eat your cholo ass up, and win.
Did you know how much weight Mike Tyson would have to lose to fight
It doesn't
him?
matter. Mike Tyson would be like, I'll fucking lose all the weight.
No, but you know what? Here's the thing: is
I'll
like,
fuck you in the ass too.
no, bro. But that's the thing: is
Yeah.
Mike Tyson went out there to fucking kill you.
Yes.
He did.
Like there was no like I'm gonna box you, like we're in a competitive sport.
No.
Like this is I'm coming out to kill you and eat your babies. Like he was coming out. He wanted
He was rocking
every
sock and
single
robots,
ounce of your fucking body to be destroyed.
Hey, am I thinking wrong? But wasn't Tyson the guy that also bit the guy's ear off?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
Okay.
beat
that's what I'm saying.
Evander-
Like,
yeah.
there was nothing about it. He's like, if I gotta punch you in the throat,
Holyfield,
if I gotta
Yeah, Evander
fucking
Holyfield.
choke you, I will literally ingest a piece of your body to fucking win.
Have you
That
ever,
is a goddamn fucking boxer.
Have you guys ever
This
seen?
sissy,
Oh, you're good.
he's like, give him a paycheck, I'm out. Give me some Gambino. Fuck that guy.
Gambino.
Damn, he's fucking us up. But have you guys ever seen?
Before you,
Yeah.
guys, because I might have lost the episode. If you
Yeah.
didn't, if you didn't hear our last episode about Childish Gambino, please listen to it. If I lost it, I'm sorry. He's talking about the episode we just did. Anyways, moving on. Go ahead.
Have you guys seen like the videos of like Mike Tyson? There's like videos, like clips of like just his
Of him
whole
talking?
career. Like yeah, like his like the promotion, like if you
I'll
ever
fuck you in the ass, man. I'll fuck you in the ass and I'll enjoy it.
Bro, he was
didn't give a
legit.
fuck.
Like if
He was awesome.
if you ever watched his I want to say his trainer's name was Chuck D'Amato.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
It's something.
just a little this
fuck,
little
yeah.
fucking old bald fat fucking Italian dude, right? And he's holding pads from Mike Tyson. And Mike Tyson was well over fucking, I can't remember his weight, but he's well over 200 pounds, yoked. And I'm talking like pre-Robin Givens Mike Tyson, where he hadn't gotten laid in a while. Like, no, like, Bro, he was fucking yoked. And the amount of fucking power that hit that pad, and like, I've hit pads before. I can tell you, I put everything into what I fucking had to fucking make a sound in that pad. And it was like nothing. But when he hit that pad, it was almost like a fucking sonic boom. Like you felt bad for this guy's fucking shoulders because he's just ba 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 ba. And the speed, the power, the fucking footwork. Mike Tyson was one of the baddest motherfuckers to ever grace this earth in fucking boxing.
Yeah.
Floyd Mayweather makes boxing look like competitive
Skip to my Lou.
It is competitive figure skating.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. Like, I'm going to get out and now, granted, Floyd Mayweather, he's had the advantage of, 10, 15, 20 years of diagnostic research to go, oh, boxing's a bad sport. I'm going to wind up shitting myself by the age of fucking 51. Like, I won't be able to control my reflexes. I get it. But when you come to a fucking primal sport like boxing, that would be like watching MMA and watching these dudes do fucking patty cake all day long. It's like, you don't want to watch that. Football.
I think the one thing that MMA and the UFC are smart about are knockouts.
That's where it gets dangerous.
What do you mean?
I'm talking about, like, you're knocked out, it's over. There's no more. There's no, let me count to 10. Let me see if you get back up. Because constant blows to the head like that aren't supposed to happen.
But
Ever.
But your knockout rate is higher because of why? In boxing, if you're a heavyweight, the higher your weight goes, the higher your glove volume goes. So, like, heavyweights are using 18-ounce gloves. When, if you're in an MMA fight, whether you are 260 pounds like fucking Brock Lesnar, or you're a $125 like Ronda Rousey, you're using 4-ounce gloves. 4 ounces separates you from this. That's it.
That ain't
So
nothing.
when you get knocked out, you get knocked the fuck out.
'cause that's
there
just
ain't no
straight
coming
arm
back
power.
from that. Like, when you get knocked out in boxing, and I don't know this for sure, but you get rattled, your brain gets, boom, sloshed in that brain a little bit, but you can come back because there's damage, but there's not trauma.
It does also depend on like the hit, because I know like they'll stop fights if you're not responsive. So you can, if you fuck someone bad enough, so they will end up like, I can't fucking put my hands up.
Well, I think MMA has done a better job.
That's true.
I misspoke when I said damage,
yeah.
but not trauma. But
Yeah.
but you know what I mean? It's like,
I know what you mean.
Like there's just, there's a mechanical injury when you get hit with 4 ounces of gloves. Like, you're gonna have a separated fucking jaw, or a broken jaw, or a broken orbital that you might not get in boxing.
This is protection.
In boxing, you're gonna be protected from that broken orbital, right? But your brain is just as fucked. So you're gonna get all the brain damage, but you're not gonna show the signs of it.
Yeah.
Which is
So-
way scarier.
Exactly. You're gonna have fucking, like I said, at 51, you're gonna be shitting yourself and have no clue why. Versus in MMA,
Second, your cheek is fractured. You're like,
I would
okay,
rather-
I'm good.
yeah.
there's very few 20-year MMA guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Versus boxing, Mayweather, he's been fighting for about 20 years. I think he's had his 17th or 18th year boxing.
Yeah.
And that's not even low level. That's all professional. Like, you can't do that in MMA.
Can't.
No, because you're getting fucking, when you
Because then
get
you won't
hit-
have ears.
Speaking of people getting knocked out, do you guys think Rousey's gonna come back?
No.
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 Well, she's gonna come back as a wrestler.
Fuck you.
She's
But
going to
but
WWE.
with that,
Yeah. No, yeah, dude.
Oh.
I actually wouldn't mind seeing Rousey come back as a wrestler.
Why,
Like-
the bikinis?
Well, yeah. I'm cool with that. Like, hey, look, Ronda Rousey, she's hot as fuck, dude. I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
But my thing is, she got to a level of. Back in the day in the UFC, you were a specialist, right? So you had Hoist Gracie, who was the ground guy. You had Dan Severn, who was the wrestler. You had, Remco Pardo was the judo guy. Like, you can have all these specialists, and it is who beats who at what point, right? So, that's good. Now, you can't have that. They're all MMA fighters. You have to have a fucking black belt in judo. You have to have a black belt in whatever stand-up, black belt, quote unquote, right? Like, you have to have an extremely black belt level at Muay Thai. In wrestling, in boxing, you have to be a fucking motherfucker of all the above. Ronda, she was a pretty good boxer. She was an outstanding fucking judo person. So she had a specialty. She was a specialist. And once somebody exploited that, like, hey, bitch, you're not going to take me down, I'm going to kick you in the mouth. That's it. Like, that was done. So Ronda has to go back and go, oh, maybe I can't take this bitch down. Maybe I need to box her until I can get in and then take her down. But there was none of that.
There was none of that.
You got this fucking broad that has done the exact opposite of you. I've done no judo. I've done nothing but kick bitches in the mouth. That's it. So you had two extremes. That's why Holly Holm beat Ronda, lost the next fight, right? Because her ground game sucks. The problem was that Ronda couldn't get it to the ground. The next person got it to the ground, which was Miesha Tate, because she had a superior wrestling, and Holly Holm had no fucking clue what to do once it was there. But if Holly Holm could have kept it on feet, she'd have knocked fucking Miesha Tate out. If Ronda Rousey could have got it to the ground, she'd have submitted fucking Holly Holm in a fucking millisecond. So,
right.
It's all about how much you know, right?
Well,
experience you are.
Well, and the comfortability you have with it, right? I can know how to throw a fucking jab, cross, uppercut all day. Mm. I don't know anything compared to what Mayweather knows about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know the exact dynamics on how to throw it, but not to the level that he does. I'm at a 20%. He's at 100%. Like there's no.
Speaking of what was I gonna say? God damn it.
You jerk off.
Speaking of issues and knockouts and problems.
I got issues.
What do you guys think about the fact that the Browns as a wholesome are having issues now?
Why wouldn't they have issues?
Right.
Well, they've had issues since 1965.
No, but I'm talking about their controversy right now about not standing up for the national anthem.
So, I would say a different perception on what that is versus what you might have versus Nick and versus Joe. So, if any of you guys want to go first, I will let you do that.
All right. I disagree with what they're doing, strictly because I just think, just in my personal opinion, I think it's stupid. But to go deeper into it, I don't think they necessarily have the right to do it, because right now they're at work, and if you want to make a socio-political statement, do it in your own free time. Nobody is going to want to watch your football game if you're going to stand there and make your socio-political statements to try to get a point across. we're turning on the TV to watch you play football. We're not turning on the TV to hear your opinions. If you want to tell us your opinions and where you stand on different social issues, then do it in news interviews, do it on social media, go out and make a statement. But when you're on the field, play football.
Now, I'm going to play devil's advocate here on this.
I like it.
Because you said it yourself. You're getting paid so we can watch you play football. I don't care about their interviews. I don't care about them talking. So wouldn't the best time for them to show me their views be on national television in front of a bunch of people?
Exactly, but nobody gives a shit what they think anyway. So if you
We're
wouldn't
talking
watch
about it.
Well, I know, but
So, someone's giving a shit about it.
because you're mad, because people are upset that they're doing it.
But
so,
at the end of the day, their goal is met. Their goal is to start a conversation about the problems, the issues that we as a country and as a whole are having. And I'm playing devil's advocate because I do not agree. I'm a naturalized citizen. That means that I came here from a different country. My mother, I didn't have to take the test. My mother took a test, and she knows more about American history and United States history than a lot of Americans. I can tell you right now, she does. And that's kind of sad, to tell you the truth. But I am a proud American because of it. Because at the end of the day, I am attempting to fulfill the American dream, and I'm attempting to make my family proud.
Absolutely.
So with that, I disagree, of course, because that flag and that song and everything means something to me. I don't agree with our politics right now, and I'm not going to go into it, but I do not agree with how this country is being run at the moment. A lot of things are being done really, really poorly. People are being pardoned that I do not think should be pardoned. And I think I understand where they're coming from when somebody with promotions, with somebody that has the ability to speak, says something about it. Like I said, I don't agree with them specifically because of the fact that it means something to me, but I understand where they're coming from because they can use that popularity that they have, those moments that how many people do you think log in to watch a football game?
Dude, not
Hundreds
even
of
just
thousands
that.
of people.
Yeah.
Millions of people watching so they can make a point.
And then it was on ESPN.
And we're talking
People
about
go
it.
to
And we're
ESPN
talking
all
about
the
it.
time.
And then also I
Yeah.
do want to bring up another point. ESPN also got people are giving them a lot of shit because they had an Asian like a guy that was going to talk about
Robert
a game.
Lee.
Robert Lee.
yeah, he wouldn't go to the Charlottesville.
No, not that he
college
wouldn't.
game.
They
He wasn't
asked
allowed,
him.
yeah,
They
he wasn't
asked
allowed.
him not to. They asked him not to go to this specific game and do another one because his name is too close.
To a Confederate.
To General Lee.
Yes.
It's crazy.
That's
it's like
fucking-
that's not his fault. That's his
not-
name.
Philip DeFranco, this guy I listened to on YouTube, made a great statement. He said, "If you don't want the internet to talk about it, then make it nothing.
Right.
But if you make it something, the internet, it's a rule,
gonna
the internet
latch
is
on it.
going to
And-
latch on it and make fun of it. And it's like you forcibly trying not to shoot yourself when you're holstering your gun and shooting yourself in the foot.
And guess what happened? They didn't want a controversy to be started, so they made a
They
controversy
shot
out
themselves
of it.
in the foot while
Yeah.
trying not to shoot themselves.
Nobody would have given a shit because everybody knows this guy is an ESPN announcer. So if he announced a football game, nobody would have noticed because that's his job.
You know, this is what would have happened. Oh shit, look at that guy. That guy's name's Robert Lee. Ha! Alright, anyways. So,
Right.
And even if they would have
but
brought
they
it up,
would've-
they would have looked weird. But they're like, why?
They would have never even thought a second about it
Yeah.
because he's Asian and his last name is Lee.
Lee.
L-I Lee.
No, I think it's Lee.
Is it L-E?
But
Yeah.
but either way, like they would have
yeah.
never thought 2 fucking seconds about it.
No. But anyway, going back to the point, to me, if you're trying to get the point across about police brutality or whatever it is that they're protesting the national anthem, when I see 12 members of a football team kneeling or sitting during the national anthem, I don't see a protest to a social issue. I see somebody being anti-American because that's what it is. You're paying respects to the nation that you're in and the nation that you're a part of by standing for the national anthem and the flag. And when you sit has nothing to do with whatever you're protesting. It just has to do with the fact that you are not paying your respects to
The men and
the
women.
national anthem
Yeah.
and the men and women of the military and everybody who's died in all of this country's history for its freedom. So it makes me mad when somebody does that. Find a different way to protest. Find a different method to get your point across.
Right. Start riots, guys.
Here's what I
Yeah.
think.
Start smashing windows, loot shoe stores, do whatever you got to do.
Here's what I don't like about that, though. And, like, I haven't said my shit yet, but this is what I find fucked up. Because before they did it, we all know who was the first one to do it. It was Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
That fucking afro.
I think
And
it's Copernic.
It's
Wow.
Colin Kaepernick. Most people, like, if you do football, it's Kaepernick. You can say Copernic, it doesn't matter. But, like, he was the first one to do that, right? And, like, if you watch, because I watch a fantasy football podcast. I've told you about it.
The fantasy footballers.
Yeah, like, they're really good.
Ding.
They've talked about it, and like when they talk about stuff like that, they only talk about it in terms of like pure football, in terms of like if you were gonna pick a person and whatnot, and just like in terms of also just the game of football. I think it's sad because I've learned from them in terms of like some stuff also because I've been away from football for a while before we got into fantasy football.
Final Fantasy?
Yeah, Final
Fantasy football.
Woo! That'd be amazing, right? Anyways, I think it's crazy that because, like, someone like him decided to voice his opinion, which, hey, it doesn't matter what your opinion is, as long as you're not killing anybody or raping anybody, you're not doing anything horrible, to an extent, right? So, he's a better football quarterback than a lot of the people who got jobs this past, before the preseason started, and he doesn't have a job. And yet people like Jay Cutler, who did not want to even go back into football, people told him to go back into football. He got a job from the Miami Dolphins before someone like Colin Kaepernick, who he does stuff out of football, like gives back to the community. He gives his money back. He does things for people less fortunate. And because he decided to have an opinion, the league is like, we don't want to deal with you because you want to speak your opinion, and whether it's wrong or right, we don't want to deal with it. So fuck you.
I'm also gonna play devil's advocate on that.
Yeah, go ahead.
It is, at the end of the day,
It's
a job.
It's a business.
So as a businessman, I do not want your opinion. I want you to work. I want you to make my people and my business people happy so that they log in, they tune in, and watch my ads. My ad revenue is what keeps me alive. And if you fuck with my business, you're gone.
See, this is where it comes back to like double standard. So he doesn't get a job. So someone like who I think deserves the job, doesn't matter what they did in the past. Someone like Joe Mixon. Do any of you guys know Joe Mixon?
No, I had no idea.
Joe Mixon is a kid who came out of out of college. He's going into the league this year. He's a Bengals player. He, maybe a year or two ago, there's a video out there, if you guys put Joe Mixon into YouTube, punched a young lady in the face. There's a video of it in a bar. And there was a controversy of, like, should people draft him or not? He has a job now. He gets paid to be a football player.
I mean,
where does that... See, this is the thing.
Okay, I'm not agreeing with the
But
NFL.
did she
I will say this.
deserve it?
I will say this. He's trying to do his best to get away from that, but at the same time,
Bro,
we're talking about a business.
a woman-
there are differences.
Okay.
A woman
You can't-
beater will remain a woman beater, and the NFL does not do a good job when it comes to abuse. They do not do a good job when it comes to.
No, they
don't.
don't.
They don't.
No,
they
they
don't.
don't.
So-
they pick
They
and
try,
choose.
but they don't.
They pick and choose their issues, and they're fucked about it. But we're talking about something different.
But that's
when it comes
but
to
see
it.
that's
No,
my
no,
case is
no.
when you're talking about a business, you
I-
can't go one way and then because you can get
Right.
yards and win a game, go a different way.
Right.
That's
With-
not how it should work. There's 2 points, but I'll let you talk.
With this issue, I agree with Joe completely.
No, right.
Like
Yeah, me
because all right, honestly, Ray Rice got kicked out,
Yeah, he did.
right?
Who's
Because
Ray Rice?
He's
so he
the-
was a running back for the Ravens.
those
But, I mean,
running
by
backs.
far, he was one of the best fucking
Yeah.
running backs in the league at the time, and he probably still would be.
Mm-hmm.
But he punched the fuck out of his wife in an elevator, got caught on camera. He got kicked out of the league. I'm I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure right now he still cannot get
can't.
in.
I don't think he'll ever be allowed to play again.
So, I mean, abso-fucking-lutely.
Right.
Right? Like, I agree with you 100%. Like, you shouldn't be... So, you're a fucking goddamn running back. You're 220 pounds. You're punching this 100-pound fucking woman. Not that punching any woman is right. But it's...
And to clarify,
Dude.
my joke before, if you heard it was clearly a joke.
Yeah, I mean,
You
you should clarify because some people
Oh, yeah.
can take that seriously.
Somebody's going to be like, wow, that
Well,
guy's
you know,
silly.
but you know what? Even though you just said that, there's going to be somebody that takes it off.
They're gonna
and fucking runs with it,
cut
and
it
they're,
and
they're
flip
not
it.
going to think of it as a joke. Even
Right.
though you said it was a joke. But I agree with you 100%. Like, whoever the fuck it is, I don't give a fuck. My thing is, you are a paid athlete to represent a certain organization for a certain dollar amount. And if you cannot commit to that contract that you've had, bye, Felicia. You're gone.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck who you are. And you know what? The NFL does not do a good job about, oh, you put asses in the stands? Guess what? I don't give a fuck. Go. Because there's another fucking poor motherfucker down there that can run just as fast, catch as many balls and everything as you do. So I agree with you, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like you said, it's a fucking job. And you need to be able to perform at your job. Now, with the Colin Kaepernick thing, where I disagree with you, is that as an organization, if I am running a football team, my quarterback is my
Money
leader.
maker.
Yeah.
He's my leader, right? He is the one who runs the team, right? You have an offensive guy and a defensive guy, but for the most part, the leader of the offense is the captain, quote unquote. If you are a fucking cancer in the locker room,
Oh, yeah.
meaning you're just a negative fucking turd. You know, and I don't know that Colin Kaepernick is, but my assumption is that you are not very team friendly, because if you were a team player, everybody on the San Francisco 49ers at that time, everybody would have taken a knee.
Yeah.
You know what would have been said about that? Nothing. Hey, these guys are making a fucking stand, and here's what it's for.
But it was just
But
him.
I give him credit. Like, you took a fucking ballsy move. I give you credit. But in my assumption, you're a fucking cancer to the locker room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So everybody else, offense, your fucking offense is shit, because nobody, even whatever race you are, there's fucking black players that are going, bro, really? Like, really, dude? This is when you're going to do it? They don't agree with him. There's white players, don't agree with him. There's white players that do agree with him. All the above. But you no longer have a cohesive football unit on the field. And when you're talking about putting asses in the stands, when you're talking about revenue, and you're talking about, I want to make my organization as successful as possible, you are hindering that. So, no, you're not going to get hired.
Yeah.
Like I said, my buddy played a joke with me fucking weeks ago about Kaepernick getting traded to the Jets. My first reaction was like, he'll get killed. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, if he gets traded to the New York Jets, the New York Giants, or the Buffalo Bills, he will literally, I honestly think he will get killed. I don't think you're New Yorkers are not, New Jersey, we're not going to fucking stand for that. Like,
No, they love this country.
we're not going to go into that, because I'm going to go into it in a minute. But, bro, no.
Wait.
If you are paid to be a football player, take your fucking ass out there, take that fucking pigskin dick, and fucking throw it at whatever fucking dude you want, and pray to God, whatever God you believe in, that he fucking catches it and he gets past that fucking white coke line. Because that's what's that's what makes you money.
Yeah.
If there's anything else, I don't give a flying fuck about
What you
it.
believe in.
Right.
Picking up from that, with
Before you start, I want to ask you something. So, do you think that, like, so we had this thing in Cleveland. Do you think at all this would ever happen with Jets players?
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely, and here's why.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah.
Because Jets and Giants players, we are very fucking devout, right? Like, we love our fucking team.
Yeah.
But there's certain things that we love more, and it's like Jerry Jones, right? In the Dallas,
Yeah.
right? I'm gonna tell you right now, let a single fucking one of that Dallas offense, defense, special teams, a fucking coach, a guy that just serves fucking water, I don't give a shit. Let one of them take a fucking knee, and I guarantee Dallas is going to fucking erupt. And that guy is gone the next day. And there's no fucks about it. There's no there's no maybe. It's black and white. It's fucking cut and dry. You are gone. There's not going to be any recourse. You can do as many fucking Hail Marys as you want. Guess what, bitch? You're gone. I understand what you're trying to say. You don't understand what the fuck is going on here. That's my assumption of it.
my question on that is, now I don't know too much about what happened with the Browns, to tell you the truth, because I just recently found out about it yesterday.
Okay.
So, wasn't it them as a whole, as a group, the Browns players
Nope.
decided, or was it the organization said we're not
So-
standing up for the national?
So
anthem"?
here's the
We'll go
thing.
into it.
So ESPN, before this happened, ESPN talked to like the general manager of the Browns. They were like, we're not gonna, they talked like the exact general, I think it's Sashi Brown, talked to them and was like, listen, I don't care what you guys do, just make sure you guys do it in a very respectful manner. And then the coach told them, this is something you guys should not do. Now, when you look at, like, if you guys see the video, you have the 12, like, players do the knee, but then you also have players who still, they're standing, but they're like, like, they're right by their team going like, hey, we don't have to agree with you, but we also respect that this is your decision. It's not the same thing like as Colin Kaepernick. He was the only one down. This is kind of like, they probably talked about it as a team and saying, hey, we're going to do this, we're not going to do this, but we're going to be behind you. So, you know what I mean? It's a lot different. It's one of those things where, as a team, I feel like it was one of those things where half of them were like, we're going to do this, and half of them were like, we're not. But hey, man, we're still a team. So if you want to do this, we're going to stand with you because you're our team. We're going to roll with you, ride or die. You know what I mean? I don't have to kneel with you because I don't represent the same thing as you, but I'm going to still be by you and say, I'm going to like, hey, I'm following what you're doing. I respect you because you are your individual. So it's a lot different,
Yeah. And, like, honestly, I respect it.
Yeah.
I respect it. Like, the fact that you're going to do that, like, and honestly, there's a lot of people right now that are going, oh, that's, bullshit, blah, blah. No. Look, that is your constitutional right.
Exactly.
To, to take your First Amendment and
Do what you want.
decide
Speech.
that you want to stand against something and do it.
But what people
right?
don't understand is their constitutional rights, they're used outside of work. You don't go to your job and start speaking whatever the fuck you want at your job because that's not how it works.
And that's what I was going to say, is that the constitutional right protects you from government retaliation. We cannot governmentally retaliate against you for speaking your First Amendment rights. That has nothing to say what your employer can do.
Yeah.
Right.
Your
To
employer
you.
can do anything they want.
You can do whatever rights you want. However, your employer can say, "Hey, this is good or bad for us, and we are going to take repercussions accordingly."
That's what they did.
So, guess what? You can take whatever stand you want on this, but if you get fired for it, that is
Your own fault.
the constitutional right of
Yeah.
your employer.
Right.
And you can't go back on that. So, look, I understand. You want to fucking speak your mind, you want to do what you want to do? Go. Do it.
There's a
I
risk.
absolutely, and if you're willing to sacrifice your fucking job for it, I respect you for that. But there should be no fucking recourse going, oh, they fired me unjustly. No, they didn't. You
Took a risk.
violated
Yeah.
the league and the team's terms and conditions of your contract, and you are fired because of that.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the bottom line. Like you can't say, oh, you know, I'm gonna do this, you know, because of whatever. But my thing is, as a veteran, right? When I look at that flag, I look at it as dead. I look at it as dead people who have fought for this country, and they deserve respect.
Right.
And now I understand that, you know, the flag is you know, a lot of things that I hear are, oh, it's riddled with blood and blah blah blah. I understand that. There's no country out there that has ever been emancipated or has ever been
Fought for its right to govern.
fought for anything that has not been riddled in blood. Yeah,
Yeah.
we got blood on our hands. I understand that.
Everybody else does.
All
A
right,
lot of countries have blood on their hands.
but the key is we fought for the reason of everybody is equal.
Yeah.
And it may not be true today, but we're getting towards that, right? It's not perfect. But this is the ideal of what that flag stands for, is that everybody is equal. Everybody has the same rights. Everybody is a fucking contributing member to society. And if you agree with that, you're going to look at that flag and you're going to say, okay, I'm fighting for this. This is the symbol of my the release from my oppression, not what my oppression is.
Yeah.
And
You know
I
what
think
I mean?
I think when looking at it, there are a lot of people do look at it differently. Of course,
Yeah.
you have your perspective.
Okay.
I have mine, like I mentioned, I've already said. And then you have different. I am liberal. I am more liberal than most of us here, and that's
And
okay.
that's okay.
That's okay. Yes, but to an extent, of course, I am conservative to a point as well. But there are other people that are liberals that would look at the flag and look at it as a form of oppression, as 500 years of slavery, as something that is more blood than good,
More negative.
more
than-
negative than good, and I get that to an extent. But at the end of the day, it's something that has to be respected.
See, this is my thing. It's like when I think taking a knee, you can have whatever opinion you want on it. I don't have a problem with it because you took that risk. Like you said, you might get fired the next day. You took that risk. As long as you're not gonna be bitching about it, and you go, I stood up for what I believed in. I'm gonna go. You know what? You did what you wanted to. We all have our different opinions about the flag.
Right.
And you should be able to express that as long as you're not doing it in a harmful way or you're trying to destroy somebody else's life.
Right.
You know, as long as you're not burning the flag, which I think just period is just ridiculous. I mean, first off,
It's a conspiracy.
it just doesn't do anything. Yeah, it's a conspiracy, and it doesn't do anything. But if you wanna have your opinion, bring it out there, whatever you want, that's fine. I don't care.
Right.
You are allowed those rights. You know what I mean? And we should not hate those rights.
I don't want to cut the podcast short because we're in a really hot topic. But I do want everybody's closing thoughts on this specifically. And you're all going to give me shit about closing thoughts. But I don't care. I do want to
Where are
hear
we at?
we're at 120.
Oh, we're going to go 2 hours. Let's do it.
Fuck off. So no. Please, I do, and you guys can elaborate as
We
long.
can do a part two.
We can do 2 hours. I really don't give a shit, but I do want to hear one last thing from all of you about this entire situation, and then we'll close off the podcast. I do want to keep us on track, though.
Okay.
So yeah, like I said, I'm not cutting everybody off. I am telling you that we should be ending soon. So I want to just hear a closing.
Well, then go with your closing argument first.
Fuck you if you don't stand up for the flag. Just saying. I've said a lot of things. I'm proud of who I am today and of what my family has done. And I am attempting to live the American dream. And that partly is because of the freedoms that I'm given. and I have the freedom to speak as fucking plainfully as I want because of it, because of how people have fought and died for the things that I get, and I am not the kind of person that takes that lightly, to tell you the truth. That's why I am very supportive of our troops, and that's why I'm very supportive of the flag, because I look at it differently.
Yeah, I agree. I just think that when everybody looks at the American flag and the concept of the United States, I don't think we should all look at, and what everybody, for some weird reason today, is doing. Everybody's looking for the bad, horrible things that have happened in America's past. But what nobody seems to also realize in this country is that every country has had bad things happen in the past. And all countries have gone through their times of, killing and war and everything else. It doesn't make us any different. But for some reason, people today just want to single out America as just being this horrendous place. And it's like, go to any other country today, go to the Middle East, go to Africa, any country out there, and they're
Venezuela.
Yeah, they're in horrible, horrible shambles right now. It's like, I think we're doing pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Considering what's going on in the world today. Like, if this is the hot topic, that there's football players taking a knee at the national anthem, and there aren't bombs exploding in our streets and people raping and pillaging villages, like, I'll take it. If that's the biggest news, God bless America, man.
That's the biggest news because our president hasn't done something stupid recently. But I'm gonna move past that, and I'm not gonna say anything else. Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's alright. It's just like the fact that our country is the way it is today. I think we've come a very, very long way from what it used to be, and people today don't know that because they don't read about their history enough. And all they see is the minuscule issues that we have. So they think that this is the worst ever? No, God, no. Go talk to an old person about the 50s and 60s, man. Like, that's when it was bad. It's not bad today. That's it.
I'm kind of indifferent at this point. I think, I respect the flag. And the weird thing about it is, where you could say, like people, fought for our country and died for our country for one way, you could say the complete opposite. You could say that they fought to make sure that everyone has the ability to speak their mind. And so in my opinion, it's like this type of stuff, it's very hard to talk about it without going, there's two ways about it. I think that, in terms of being, just players in general, you're allowed to do what you want. And as long, I keep saying this, as long as you're not doing anything where you're killing people, or doing anything harmful, I don't think you're doing anything wrong. You're just gonna have a different opinion from me. I personally am gonna stand for the flag no matter what, because while we have different, while we're not a perfect country, nobody is. Perfection is just not existent. And it's one of those things.
I don't know. Ask the Nazis. All right, they were perfect.
They weren't.
Until they lost.
Ask Hitler. He would say they were.
No, the only thing that was perfect about that place was his mustache. That perfect square. Anyways, but like, you know what I mean? No one is perfect. Yeah.
It was perfectly proportioned.
On both sides.
What if that was the case?
Like
what if Hitler had a mathematician measure out his mustache from top and bottom and side to side, just so it was a perfect square?
We find
any way you look at it.
We find that Hitler is just like perfection. His mustache is. But anyways, like no one is perfect. No one's perfect, and the fact that stuff like this is happening is just the sense that we have stuff to work on. I don't think that's a problem. You know what I mean? But I also understand that there are two sides about it, and that you can see whatever you want. I don't think it's that much of a big deal. It could be a lot worse. They could have had guns and just shot everyone. It was like Black Lives Matter or whatever. They didn't do any of that. They risked their jobs. You got to think about it that way. So I respect them. I don't have to agree with them all the way.
I think
that's my,
I think real quick, and I'm sorry.
Go ahead. That was my.
I think that our country as a whole, and I'm sorry this got really like serious to this episode at least. But
which is funny,
I think
we're pretty tipsy.
Right. I think our country as a whole is at a crossroads, And I hope to God, like I said, as a naturalized American from Peru, I hope to God that we make the right turns at the end of the day. I hope that we aren't divided by stupid petty things. I hope that we are not divided by something as silly as the color of one's skin or where they're from. But that's really it. On
a lighter note, the fact that you said Crossroads, our outro is going to be
Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Bone Thugs and Harmony, Crossroads. That's already put in. If you don't do that,
We punch you in the dick.
punch you in the dick.
Yeah, let me.
Yeah,
get-
you're gonna
let
have
me-
to give me that
let,
chocho.
let me get on that with my broken laptop.
So
I want to miss everybody.
here's my take on it, right? Like the fact that I agree with 98% of what you guys just said, I think stands to illuminate the fact that when you look at like things that like in Charleston, Virginia, right? You had Nazis, you had BLM, right? You had
Antifa.
roughly Antifa, all these fucking just whatever the
tell
fuck
you
they are, right? You had combined a 3% of the American public that are one way or another, right? The vast majority, the 97% of Americans, in my estimation, from my perspective, what I have learned in my life, are just fucking average dudes. I don't give a fuck if you're white, if you're black, if you're whatever, as long as you're cool, you're cool.
And most people agree. It's that small percentage of people that are giving the rest of the country a horrible name.
But that's what's getting the notoriety.
Because they're the
Right?
loudest.
Exactly. So it's like you're televising a fucking metric, for all intents and purposes, a fucking cunt hair of what the demographic is.
Yeah.
Right? We are all pretty much fucking cool with whatever, no matter what. We like you as a person, whether you're fucking whatever, right? So, my thing is, as an American and as somebody that has seen that flag in a different light, right? When I look at people that are kneeling, I understand. I go, you know what? Part of me says, dude, you are doing what we are fighting for. Like, that is your right to do it, right? I like the fact that you are able
To do that stuff.
to do it. But there is another part of me that goes, you know what? You're doing it, and you're spitting on the people that fought for it. Like, there's been plenty, like, if you read throughout history, there was entire black fucking companies in the Civil War, right? That makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? They were fighting for their own freedom. Fast forward, World War I, there was entire black companies. World War II, there was entire black companies. Then desegregation came. Then there was black and white companies. There was people, fucking black, white, Hispanic, Asian. They all fought together because that is what they were fighting for. The fact that they can all fight together.
And then they continue
That
to
there
do
was
it.
there was no division. When the bullets are flying, there was no fucking division. It was, I don't give a fuck what you are. You look out for me, I look out for you. I'm gonna keep you down, you're gonna keep me down. I'm gonna patch your wounds, you're gonna patch my wounds. We are all fighting for this entire fucking melting pot, the greatest fucking melting pot, in my opinion, that there has ever been.
Yeah.
Which is this fucking country. And to me, that is what that flag stands for. There's people that look at it as oppressive. And there's part of me that goes, okay, you know what? I understand that. Look, there's fucking bad cops. I get that.
That doesn't mean.
But if you just look at the
There's
bad,
been-
if you look at the
there's-
bad, then how are you going to be able to look at the good?
There's been fucking black cops, there's been white cops, there's been fucking Asian cops, there's been all types of cops that are
female
shit.
cops. It doesn't matter.
Right? Just like I've had a fucking couple of bad accountants. I've had a couple of fucking. Everybody's went to school with a fucking bad janitor.
And a bad
Right?
teacher.
A bad teacher. There's bad
bosses.
in every fucking walk of life, every occupation that you can possibly think of. But everyone gets focused in on a race debate between this profession for this color versus this people of this color for this thing. Like, no. Like, I understand. No, there's bad cops. There's bad cops that are going to beat the fuck out of black people. All right? There's black cops that are going to beat the fuck out of white people. There's Asian cops that are going to beat the fuck out of other people because they have
Cholos.
smaller dicks. Like, and that's fine. Like, I don't. Just kidding. But my thing is, there's an entire pool of fucked up. The only reason why there is an entire pool of fucked up is because that flag stands for something. That flag stands for you can be fucked up.
Yeah.
You can fuck up and be redeemed. You can fucked up. You can go to jail. You can be great and live in harm. It's everything. It is everything. And once you stop that, once you decide that that flag no longer represents that, guess what?
You can help.
Now you become into communist Russia of the 80s.
Okay.
You become into
North Korea.
North Korea. You become into what it is right now if you live in Afghanistan, if Iraq, if you live in fucking
Pakistan.
Sudan.
Venezuela.
Where you get no option other than what your government says.
That's the
Yeah.
thing. If somebody from this country decides that they hate it so much because of what it stands for that they want to go to another country, try protesting their flags and see what happens.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, I want you to protest.
In Russia.
I want you to
Good
protest.
In Russia, protest does you.
No, in Russia, protest does government.
I want you to protest.
That's your right.
Right? I want you to do that. And there are things that you can do to get the Black Lives Matter, the fucking Hispanic Lives Matter, the fucking Asian Lives Do Math. I understand all that shit.
I think what you're getting to is the fact that, like, you can do all that, but when the problem is, it comes down to when you try to just classify yourself in one category,
You separate
you're
yourself.
You're making it harder, as if you just open up and go, hey, you have a problem, you're gay, I'm black. You're a woman, why don't we, instead of just trying to be separate, be one and remember, hey, we all know we have inequalities, we want them to be equal, give it to us. If a larger group did it together, they would mean something. But when you do it separately, all it seems like is, I'm just trying to be out for myself.
And I agree.
And that's the problem.
But my thing is, like,
Yeah.
whether you're black, white, Asian, gay, straight, whatever the fuck it is,
Yeah.
at the bottom of it, what are you?
You're an American.
You're a goddamn fucking American. And you know what? You have the right to do that.
Yeah.
And that is the greatest fucking gift that anybody can give to you, is that you have the right to go, you know what, this is wrong. Or this is right. Or I want to speak out for this. I want to speak out for that. That is everything that fucking just goddamn fucking gallons, millions of gallons of blood have been fucking bled for. For you to have that fucking right, and for you to put the flag, in my opinion, that drapes over every fucking American service member that dies overseas, or that dies having served this country honorably, that gets draped over their fucking coffin, you shit on that, I say, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Because you are literally fighting against the symbol that gives you all of those rights. And if you look at it as a symbol of tyranny, I'm
You're
sorry.
wrong.
There's
wrong.
nothing like Americans are the one that abolished slavery. Americans are the one that went to fucking Haiti, to Grenada, to fucking Africa, to Germany, to France, to
Kauai.
every fucking
end-
country that there was to speak up and to fight and to fucking die for the fucking ideals that you hold the most sacred, that you're fighting for. And you're gonna shit on that? Look,
That's bad.
bro, there's a way to fucking go about it, and I get it. I want you to exercise your right. I want you, because you know what? If there's any of my friends that have died, that is exactly what they died for. The fucking, that is exactly the antithesis of what they died for, is for you to be able to do that. You are honoring their legacy by doing that. But do not do it in the way that fucking dishonors their legacy.
Yeah, or tries to say that it's like America's bad.
It's
Yeah,
abuse.
no, like look, you live in the great, and you know what? Like Karlo said, he is a naturalized citizen. He comes from another fucking country. Your mother knows more about this fucking country than anybody else, probably more than I did. And I fucking took an oath to this country. All right, my mother-in-law. Not only is she a fucking absolute goddamn wizard at Scrabble, she knows, yeah, she beats my ass. She knows more about this country than I do. I have never in my life heard a fucking immigrant speak poorly about this country. Yet you have people that are born here, raised here, that are just fucking shitting on it. And my assumption is that you have never lived anywhere else.
They don't know anybody.
And you know what? I've never lived anywhere else. But I took a fucking oath to this country. And I understand that, you know what? If I go anywhere else, even if I go to Italy, like, bro, big booty broads, there's some good food, like, it's all good shit. But
like the same.
that's nothing compared to fucking America. This is what other countries are fucking
to be.
are trying to be.
That's what the
And
westernized culture is.
you're
The
never-
concept of it is.
You're never going to be perfect, right? 200, 300 years from now, we're all going to be dead. Our kids. There's always going to be a fucking controversy. There's always going to be something that's
And there'll
wrong.
always be a designated drinkers.
I hope so.
You
But
In 300
we are-
You
years,
should
there
have
will
said that.
be.
You should have waited.
We
until
are-
finished. It would have
Damn
been a
it.
good ending.
if you could split it and put it in the past, like, put it at the very beginning, end. But this is my thing. Like, we are always going to be fucked up in some way, because if we're perfect, there's no progress.
Yeah.
You cannot be perfect with progress.
That's true.
And there's no way to really be perfect.
Because
Right.
once you're perfect,
There's
you
always
can't
gonna be-
become more perfect.
Exactly. You can't be 100% and go above. Like, you are 100. Like, people that say, "Oh, I gave 110%." Go fuck
No, you
yourself.
didn't.
You failed math.
Right?
That's it. Like, so we are working towards it, and it's always gonna be a fucking struggle. There's always gonna be somebody that's down, that's up, that's not as great or whatever. But if we are all working towards that fucking 100%, we're gonna get there a hell of a lot faster. We're gonna hit that 98% a hell of a lot faster than if there's only fucking 54, 32, 24, 17% of us working at it, right? I think, in my opinion, like the military, if everybody goes, "Oh fuck, bullets flying at us, I don't give a fuck what you are, protect me, I protect you," that's the bottom line. You have no division.
You know what's sad is
Once
that
death comes, there's no fucking division. And to me, unfortunately, you know, like when September 11th hit, right? Everybody in their mind had death, right? Oh, we might be next. We could have gotten killed. And everybody came in like fucking. There was fucking Afghanis in the fucking street going, "Yay, America," because they were here and they understood the fucking dream, right? Or the way of life.
yeah.
There was fucking, and there's people that weren't, but still, whatever. We're not going to get into that. But there was every fucking race, color, creed, fucking social, economic status, gay, white, fucking black. I don't give a shit. When September 11th hit, everybody was fucking united.
And
Let's
it's
type up.
Do we
really
need that
sad.
again?
It's really sad that
Tragedy.
Americans only unite when America is attacked. Why can't we unite in the good times? We need, if we can be united now, when nothing is going on, then when shit hits the fan here, shit might not even ever hit the fan if we're all completely united together.
You know what?
Because at a time of weakness is when the evil attacks. So
I think-
if we stay strong together, we'll always be strong.
I think that is honestly a sign of strength. I think it's a sign of strength because America as a whole, right? All the fuckery and all the whatever, we don't have to worry about it, right? Like, so we have the time to squabble over petty shit, and I'm not calling any of this stuff petty, but on a grand scheme.
Yeah.
Compared to what it could be, it's pretty
true.
bad.
Genocide,
Right.
nuclear war, all that shit, right? We're talking about petty shit.
Military invasions.
Exactly. I think that we are on a level of, we are so fucking good that we can worry about the minute details.
we can afford to worry about this stuff.
And could. But, in closing, Karlo, I understand. In closing, take all of that shit that you understand about the fucking country and understand that that flag is what represents everything that you can. It represents Antifa. It represents BLM. The KKK. It represents all this shit, right? Not to say that any of it is right or wrong. But it's the ability
To the opinions.
for the people to do that. Like, right? Bro, I'll kill a KKK motherfucker in a goddamn second.
Yeah.
The same thing with,
Oh, yeah.
you know, a fucking Black Panther guy. I'll kill that motherfucker in a second. Anybody who is anti-American, you're getting killed. But
if you're anti,
I live in this country, I can't do that. And that is the precious thing about it, is that everybody has their right, no matter how wrong it is.
Yeah.
Now, look, it doesn't stop you from getting your ass whooped. Let's put it out there.
Yeah.
You can still get your ass kicked for that.
That's another thing.
Don't go
that
out there and
country-
listen to
that flag
podcasts and
stands
be
for.
like, hey, I can do what I want because Angelo said so.
Do you guys
no.
do you guys think that the guys that went out, the white guys that went out protesting for white lives or white privilege, and I think
White
Charlotte's
supremacy.
white
Yeah.
supremacy. Do you think that they're regretting not wearing hoods now?
No.
No, dude,
No,
a
I
bunch
don't.
of them. I think a
No.
bunch of
You
them.
mean like
a bunch of
hoodie?
them. Yeah, no, like white hoods because
So-
of the fact that there's a reason why the KKK members wear hoods.
Yeah.
They don't want to be identified.
Nah.
Some of these motherfuckers
Yeah.
have been identified,
'Cause they might be
have
black.
have been fired from their jobs, and are complaining about it. They're bitching about it. They're like, oh, I just, at that specific moment, I felt like it was something I needed to do.
Well, boo fucking who?
Boo
for
fucking
you.
who, bro?
you, man, yeah.
My
You were
thing
not
is,
anonymous
if
in that
you were,
specific
if
time.
you were out there to fucking go in with the KKK or neo-Nazis or whatever the fuck you were, you whatever goddamn fucking redneck cocksucker pieces of shit, right? Like, if you were out there, you didn't give a fuck. Because I'll tell you what, I have never shown up for any kind of rally.
I have a
Right?
job.
I went
I
to a
can't do
Puerto
that.
Rican Day parade once, and it was a great time. Right? But I didn't hate anybody for it. There was a Dominican guy right there. He was like, I was like, dude, what are you doing here?
This is
He's
for
like,
Puerto Rico.
oh, do you see J-Lo's ass? I was like, yeah, I do. He's like, that's what the fuck I'm doing here. Like, we fucking, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, that was it.
That's great.
But, like,
precious.
you know what? No. So, I think that these motherfuckers are so stupid that they don't understand the repercussions of their actions. And
I don't consider them
you have,
American.
but no, me either. Because the people
That's not
that
what America stands for.
I think, Black Panthers, your extremist groups, right? Your 3% of Americans.
Right.
Yeah.
Whatever faction that you decide to align yourself with
That's good.
is the most un-American faction that you can possibly have, right? Because whether you're white, black, whatever, boom. Once you go, oh, boom, we are all separated.
No.
You have
That's not what
totally
America stands
fucked
for.
exactly what this country is built on.
That's
this
when you
country
start
is
getting
built on
yeah.
the
Inclusion.
ideals of all men are created equal. Hasn't always been that way.
No.
I get that.
And if you're part of a
But-
group that says all men are not created equal,
Yeah.
then you are going against what America
exactly.
says.
But if you want to get to that point where all men are created, treated, and paid, all that stuff equal, then there's no 3% is never going to outweigh 97. So why don't we all join and get the 100
Exactly.
to fucking shove it in their mouth, right? That's what I don't understand. So if you are one of those extremist groups, whether you're black, white, Asian, whatever the fuck it is, if you want to be Chinese triad, go with it. But my theory is that you are anti-American. If you want to be American, join up with your fellow Americans, no matter what they are, and do some shit, right? Why does any president get elected? Any president?
Because the majority.
Because of separation,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
right?
That's true.
And because
That's-
the
Because of
electrical-
separation.
Separation. No,
Because
not
if there was a unity in everybody,
one
because
man would have to run.
you have
There'd be no
right
race.
in every fucking election, I don't care what it is, since the fucking beginning of the country
Oh my God, yeah.
till now, you have two people. You have your fucking I'm gonna fucking believe this, and then you have your other fucking people that are going I'm gonna fucking believe this. Fucking
Just talk to
one
each other.
and two, and one and two will never fucking agree with each other.
It'll never come.
Until it becomes three, you're never gonna You're
Right.
never gonna have somebody that is going to be absolutely fucking great for what we want, because we don't know what we want as a country.
Yeah.
You have fucking retards, and you have fucking retards. That's it.
And with that, I'm gonna have to say, guys.
Wait, we should end on a good note. We
We're
should
at
end on
two.
a
No, motherfuckers.
We should
we're
end
at
on a
2
retard.
hours.
No. We're gonna end on this. Designated drinkers. This is our final opinion. Love each other, and be one.
And drink a lot of beers.
And drink together.
Yep.
And fuck bitches.
Thank
and
you ver-
sluts.
thank you
And
ver-
those are men sluts too. So get your dick, babies.
Thank you very much for joining us on this extra long, extra special
Wait a minute,
Designated Drinkers episode.
I think we need to end it off on this. You know we need to end it off. Hey, you white mother.
Get some chon chon.
Get some chachon.
Thank you for joining the Designated Drinkers podcast. My name is Karlo.
I'm Nick.
This is Joe.
Angelo.
And we are the Designated Drinkers. Keep on drinking. And
Yes.
though we may be dead 300 years from now, the Designated Drinkers will live forever.
America.
As long as you have a beer in your hand, we're alive.
So you can shut the fuck up, you punk ass bitch.